Hi there, this is Martin Goulding from Guitar World magazine and welcome to this month's Last Licks column. This month we're going to take a look at 5 sweeping licks in the style of some of the great neoclassical rock players. Our first example features A minor and F diminished triads and is based around a 16th note time frame and is in the style of Yngwie Malmsteen. Let's check out the example played up to speed. Okay, we're going to start up on a high E string at the 12th fret with the 4th finger, which is the 5th degree of an A minor triad. The thumb in the middle of the back of the neck and the hand set square and dropped with plenty of space between the underside of the neck and the cup of the hand. Pulling off to 8, which is the flat 3rd. And then an upstroke into the root note on the B string, 10th fret, using the 2nd finger. Just releasing the pressure off the high E string with the 1st finger so as to mute. Then we're going to continue the upstroke into the G string at the 9th fret with the 1st finger, again releasing the previous finger pressure. Finger on, finger off for good note separation. So we're dragging the pick upwards through the B and G strings in a single motion, with the arm just pulling upwards slightly. From here we're going to shift to the flat 3rds with the 4th finger up on the 8th fret high E string. Pulling off to the root note at the 5th fret and barring across the B and G strings. Try tilting the 1st finger and try to roll the finger with the wrist coming forward slightly. Next we're going to play an F diminished triad from the 7th fret high E string with the 4th finger, pulling off to the 1st finger at the 4th fret and sweeping upwards through 6 and 7 on the B and G strings using fingers 2 and 3, finger on, finger off for good note separation. We're then going to move up and repeat this shape 3 frets higher at the 10th fret, which is an inversion of our diminished triad. So far. In the second bar we're going to play our first A minor shape again, starting with the 4th finger up at the 12th fret. Before shifting up to the next inversion, 17 and 12. Sweeping through 13 on the B string and 14 on the G string with fingers 2 and 3. And then aiming for the 16th fret where we're going to play a diminished triad. Same shape as before, fingers 4, 1, 2, 3. And then moving down the flat 3, 3 frets down to the 13th fret, another diminished triad. And then a shift up a semitone onto the 14th fret G string there for the finished note. Pulling downwards for the vibrato. Let's take a look at the example play through slowly. Okay, we're going to move on to our second sweeping example with an idea based around an A minor triad and which features a sextuplet time frame and is in the style of Vinnie Moore. Let's check out the example played up to speed. Okay, so we're going to start up at the 15th fret high E string with the 4th finger, leading with a downstroke and pulling off to 12. And then moving to the B string, 13th fret on an upstroke using the 2nd finger. So inside the string picking there. We're then going to stretch out and reach for the 17th fret with the 4th finger, pulling off back to 12 and again to 13. So far. In the second beat, we're going to repeat our first 3 notes, and then we're going to hook round with a downstroke onto the 14th fret G string using the 3rd finger, allowing the pick to come to rest on the B string. And then we're going to sweep through 14, 13 and 12 using fingers 3, 2 and 1, or with a single downstroke allowing the palm mute area to move over the unplayed strings as you go. The phrase then repeats, ending on an upstroke at the 15th fret using the 3rd finger, the thumb coming up onto the upper half of the neck and forming a pivot with the 1st finger just above the knuckle. Ending with tone-wide rock vibrato. Let's take a look at the example playthrough slowly. Okay, we're going to move on to our third sweeping example, which is based around a 16th note time frame and features A major and C major triads and is in the style of Marty Friedman. Let's check out the example played up to speed. Okay, so we're going to play an A major triad starting from the root notes on the low E string at the 5th fret with the 1st finger, stretching out and hammering onto the 9th fret. Everything muted off with the 1st finger, laying flat there, the thumb in the lower half of the back of the neck. Then we're going to bring the 1st finger over to the A string 7th fret, rolling up to the D string, leaving the A string muted with the tip of the finger. Little sweep stroke there. Then hammering on to 11, bringing the 1st finger over to the 9th fret on the G string, sweeping through to 10 on the B string with the 2nd finger, 9 on the high E with the 1st finger, upstroke pull off from 12 back to 9, sweeping back through 10 and 9. So far. So from the 12th fret pull off, we're going to hook round onto a downstroke at the 11th fret D string with the 4th finger, with the pick coming to rest on the G string, and then pushing through 9 on the G string, and then leading into a C major triad, rolling over the 8th fret on the B and E strings, upstroke pull off from the 12th fret high E and sweeping upwards back through 8 and 9. From here we're going to shift up to the 15th fret on the high E string, pulling off from a downstroke to 12 and sweeping through 13 on the B string and 12 on the G string using fingers 1 and 2. Finishing on the B string 13th fret with wide vibrato. Let's take a look at the example playthrough slowly. Okay, we're going to move on to our fourth sweeping example, which features a cascade of A minor triads played in the 3 inversions and is based around a sextuplet time frame and is in the style of Jason Becker. Let's check out the example played up to speed. Okay, we're going to start on the flat 3 of A minor at the 3rd fret A string. The hand square and dropped with plenty of space from the underside of the neck to the cup of the hand, the thumb in the middle of the back of the neck. And we're going to reach out and hammer onto 7. The first finger flat so as to mute the low E string and all strings underneath the one being played. Then we're going to roll onto the root note at the 7th fret D string. So we're going to fret the A string quite close to the tip of the 4th finger. And by the time we've slightly pulled that wrist back and rolled onto the D string, the A string is left muted with the tip of the 4th finger. Then we're going to bring the first finger over to the 5th fret G string and roll across the 5th fret on the top 3 strings. Just pulling back from the wrist slightly and tilting the first finger upwards. So far counting through as half-time triplets. 1 and 2 and 3. So then we're going to slide into the 12th fret with the 4th finger, pulling off to 8 and sweeping upwards through 10, 9, 10 and 12. Again, the first finger remaining flat so as to mute the strings underneath the one being played. So that's with fingerings 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. We're then going to ascend from the 7th fret A string, hammering onto 12, and then sweeping through 10, 9, 10, 8, the fingers 1, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, upstroke on the 12th fret and a slide to 17, pulling off to 12 and sweeping upwards through 13, 14, 14, 15 on the A string, downstroke on the 12th fret root note, pulling downwards for the vibrato. Let's take a look at the example playthrough slowly. Okay, we're going to move on to our 5th and final sweeping example with an idea based around an A minor 9 arpeggio and which combines sweeping, tapping and hammering on from nowhere and is in the style of Tony McAlpine. Let's check out the example played up to speed. Okay, we're going to start on the root note at the 12th fret A string with a downstroke, just setting up the first finger to mute off the low E string with its tip, as well as all strings underneath the one being played. Then we're going to hammer onto the 15th fret with the 4th finger, setting the hand position up square and dropped with plenty of space from the underside of the neck to the cup of the hand, the thumb in the middle of the back of the neck. Then we're going to sweep through 14, 12, 13 and 12, so that's fingers 1, 4, 3, 1, 2, 1. Hammering onto the 15th fret on the high E string with the 4th finger there. So then tapping 19, sliding to 20 and back, pulling off to 15 and 12, and then descending using hammer-ons from nowhere, hitting down hard and from a height. Ending with a downstroke on the 12th fret, pulling downwards for the vibrato. Let's take a look at the example playthrough slowly. Okay, that's all from me for this month. Thanks a lot for joining me and checking out the lesson, and I hope it's provided you with an insight into developing your sweeping ideas. Join me next month for more last licks.